No, you can't have a doctor's note. So about 2 years ago, I was heavily pregnant with extreme morning sickness, one of the lucky few to have it in the 3rd trimester. Also, my partner's main form of transportation is he can't drive, so naturally I take him to work every morning. Unfortunately, this means we were occasionally late due to me throwing up in the morning. One day I got extremely sick and my boyfriend had to call in to say he'd be later than usual, and we showed up an hour late. Normally it was something like 5 minutes, and his supervisors were very understanding of the situation. So no big deal, things happen. It sucked that he was so late today, but whatever. So after I dropped him off, I chilled in the car for a second, cues motion sickness, and I hear someone tapping on my window. It was his boss. Hey, so I opened the window, thinking he's gonna ask about the baby and chit-chat. Whatever, go, hey man, what's up, how's it going? Hey, so I'm gonna need you bring me a doctor's note, and I just stared at him. I had zero idea how to answer besides for what. Well, to verify you're actually sick since partner had to come in late. The audacity. Dude, I'm 8 months pregnant. I'm not sick. Okay, but I'll still need a doctor's note. Bro, I don't work for you, and even if I did, you're not entitled to even ask for my medical information, dude. What the hell? This is so offensive. You're a stranger. We've spoken like twice. I mean, it was a little anticlimactic cues. He just went sorry, and walked away. Never brought it up again, but like, dude, what? Super bizarre. Ed, just for clarification, the guy is chill and I spoke much less intensely than how this conveys. Like I laughed halfway through, dude, what the hell? Edit, when I say my partner cannot drive, I mean capable of driving. Not doesn't like to, not doesn't know how to, can't. Edit, stop being dicks, WTF.
I sold a guy an arcade machine at a store I don't work at. So my wife's Christmas present was a gift card to a well-known sporting goods store to get herself new shoes. We went in today, and at the front of the store were a few of those arcade one-up machines that have become popular lately. I asked my wife if she'd be okay with me playing some Pac-Man instead of helping her find shoes. She agreed, and don't worry, I used hand sanitizer before and after playing. While in the middle of my game, I'm approached by another guy. I'm in my late 20s. He's older than me, but I don't think he could have been older than 45. He casually walks up to me and says, "Having a good game?" Yeah, actually, I'm not doing too bad. Him, I bet it plays terrible compared to the real thing. Actually, no. You'd be surprised. It's pretty darn close. Him, really? Yeah, the code is the same, and the picture is pretty clear. So the only thing to worry about is input lag, and that's really low. Him, wow, I didn't realize these were so good. Too bad they only play one game. Actually, this one has about 10 games installed. Him, really? I lose intentionally so I can give him the grand tour of the machine. Yeah, see, when you boot it up you can pick between all these games. And if you want more, these things are really easy to modify to add more. Him, very interested by now. You can modify these. Yeah, in fact, these arcade one-up machines are popular choices for arcade enthusiasts who want to play MAME, but don't want to build their own cabinet, because these are affordable and leave a small footprint in your house. Him, so this price is fair. I certainly think so. I mean, speaking for myself, I built my own cabinet. I pull out my phone and show him the pictures. But in all, it cost a bit more than this does. So if you don't want to build one, and you're okay with the limitations this gives you, I think it's worth it. Him, after a pause, you know what, I want one? That was pretty cool to hear, but it crossed my mind that he might have thought I was an employee trying to pass a sale on him. That's great, sir, but I should warn you I don't actually work here. See, my wife needs shoes and I'm just playing games to pass the time. He didn't seem to mind. I'll go find someone to help me buy this, then. He turns and leaves and calls behind his shoulder, "Have a good game." That was about 10 minutes ago. As I'm writing this, he and an employee are busy loading the box into his truck. TLDR, I talked a guy into buying an arcade machine just because he saw me playing a game and wanted to know more.
His mask just broke.
positive spin in this subreddit. Boyfriend and I just placed an order at a coffee and waffle place on our way out of Vegas. As we were heading outside to wait for our order, we run into another pair of customers, kind of stare at each other for a moment. Then the woman points at the man with her and asks me, "Hey, so, his mask just broke. Do you guys have a spare?" I blink for a moment, a bit confused, because who carries around spare masks if they have their own cloth one? But I actually did have a spare because I'd traveled on a plane and bought a pack of NK95s to use. I only needed one, but ended up getting 5. So I said, "Yeah, actually, I should have one in the car." The woman's eyes widened and she apologized a ton. "I'm so sorry. I thought you worked here." As soon as the words came out of her mouth, I knew this was going on Reddit. I laughed and told her it was no problem and I'd be back in a minute. He got his mask, we got fucking tasty waffles and coffee, and I'm sure they did as well. Good way to start off the new year.
Why would I be working with my toddler? And why would a store employee kidnap a child on the clock? This happened a few months ago, mid-October, when the weather was still nice where I live. I went to a local Kroger to grab a few things I needed for dinner. This is important because I wasn't using a cart, just a basket. My oldest son, who is 3.5, loves to go to the store and do anything that involves getting out of the house. So I decided to let him tag along and leave his other brother at home with Dad. Grocery trips for us are kind of like our little mom and son dates. I usually let him pick out a toy or a treat of some kind. Since outings aren't as often since the pandemic, I try to keep things normal and exciting for him. This is where story comes into play. For note, I was wearing a light blue polo, but the store dress code is a dark blue polo with the store logo and khakis. I was wearing jean shorts that in no way was too short, but definitely wouldn't be allowed for any employee of a grocery store. People involved will be me, TS, toddler son, and our rude Karen. So about 20 minutes into our trip, I had grabbed the few vegetables I needed. It was just shopping around the canned goods aisle to grab some things I might need in the future. I was putting the can of something back in exchange for a larger version I didn't see at first when I hear, "Ma'am, I need your assistance right this instant." Not working there, I figured someone was just being an ass to a nearby worker and carried on until about 30 seconds later while looking at different canned good items when RK grabs my arm and pulls me around. "Excuse me, can I help you?" "RK, I know you heard me. Now help me find the molasses now." "I don't work here clearly, so how about no, and don't touch me again. As a matter of fact, we're in a pandemic, and you're not even wearing a mask. Get away from me." "RK, I've COPD, I can't wear one." "Where is your manager?" "That's a violation for you to even ask about my medical condition. Now go find this child's parents instead of dilly-dallying around like you're supposed to, or else you'll tell the manager you weren't gonna give this child back." I'm completely stunned. Just at this point. For one, I didn't ask about your medical condition. I said get away from me since you are above health codes. How dare you accuse me of stealing a child? Again, I don't work here, lady, and this stolen child happens to be my son. Are you okay? RK, yes, you did ask me, you little bitch. I know you're a little rotten liar who doesn't want to get in trouble. Now take me to the manager now. You're no older than 16. Who are you keeping this child from? I am 25 years old. He came from my vagina and is my son. I do not work here. Get the hell away from me before I get a manager myself. You are scaring my son. T.S. is visible scared and on the verge of tears at this point. RK looks scared because you stole him. So now I'm no longer finding his parents, but stole him on the clock. RK, see, you just admitted it. You do work here. At this point, my son is crying, and so I just grab his hand and walk to find a manager as fast as I can, with RK screaming behind me that she's getting a manager and that I am kidnapping a child. So people are starting to look. I finally find the manager. It doesn't take much to explain the situation, as RK was trailing behind me screaming as I was talking to him. He very quickly confirmed I did not work there, and then told her to leave for making such accusations and not adhering to local health department guidelines. She, of course, refused, started causing an even bigger scene on how we were human trafficking in the store, and the police up getting called by her. Yes, she was the one who called 911 to report a kidnapping, and she's arrested in front of a good 150 people. Basically just had to tell the cops my situation and how she was following me through at the store. accusing me of stealing my own son, and that was that, and went home, and on with the rest of my day. So, RK, I sincerely hope a jar of molasses was worth a trip to jail and you received the mental health care you clearly need.
You can suggest new voices in the comments.